I'll be back. I got to lose some of this winter fluff, and then I want to try to speed run next year. I want to try to make a case for the UFC while I have the athleticism to do so. New man, we've got the highest level guys coming into our gym. We've got high level guys on the team, cracking PFL and UFC, and we've got 10-1s, 9-1s. We got people who are ready to get in the big spotlight, and I want to get there too.
From MMA Island. Christopher Santiago with MMA Island. Today I'm joined by the last guest of the year, Mr. Mikey Conlon, an MMA fighter out of Fusion XCel in Florida. Mikey, how's it going today, man?
I'm blessed, man. Happy last day of the year. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the consideration, man.
Awesome, man. Well, New Year's Eve, did you already get your training in for today?
Today was an off day. I've actually, like I said, do newborn. It's that's my everyday wake up and do that. So until we get the routine going, it's hard to get on the mats. But I'll be back. I'll be back. I got to lose some of this winter fluff, and then I want to try to speed run next year. I want to try to make a case for the UFC while I have the athleticism to do so. So yeah,
Aw- Awesome, man. I hope that life's treating you well. I guess how long has that been going on for you right now?
it'll be 8 weeks exact in like a
Oh,
day.
awesome, man. Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so getting it adjusted to it. I guess how would you say your 2025 has been as an athlete, as a fighter? I know you had that fight in June, didn't go your way, but I guess how would you reflect on this year that you've had, Mikey?
Uh, Career wise, it's absolutely not what I wanted. We started off by going to the Middle East. I was at UFC Saudi. I got to see the UFC as an operation, how they work. I got to shake Dana White's hand. I got to be in the corner of one of my best friends and teammates. And three of my teammates were on the Saudi card, Terrence McKinney, Mike Davis, and then I was cornering Lucas Alexander. So I kind of got to see how the operation is, and I'm big on the reticular activating system. So when you experience something, your mind finds ways to make it a reality. So for me, that was great exposure. It was great for my young career. I was 3-0 at the time, and then I had just fought in June, lost, and then with how I performed, I think something went wrong with getting prepared for being a dad. It was kind of terrifying to be honest, but my performance was not that of an undefeated fighter, and I lost. I mean, I took the guys back all 3 rounds and I just couldn't get a choke. And he spun out of it and stayed on top. It was definitely one of my more boring fights. So that's probably the last time I'm shooting a takedown, to be honest. But yeah, I
Gotcha,
think
man.
it's been not what I expected, to be honest, for 2025. But next year I want to speed run. I fight for Combat Night MMA. I'm signed. It's in Florida, and if you're ever here, I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you in the crowd, get you VIP and set up and everything. So
Awesome, man. And can you talk to me a little bit more about the reticular system, or because I
absolutely.
haven't, that's not the first time I'm hearing about it. So yeah, what is that?
So humans are creatures of habit. When we are exposed to something, for instance, driving or test driving that nice car or going to stay at the resort, your mind finds ways to make it a reality because it's already experienced it. We kind of gravitate towards what we're familiar with. My mentor taught me that, Ed Milet. So that's kind of stuck with me, and it's pretty powerful.
Hmm. Who's your mentor?
Ed Milet, Ed Milet. That's one of my.
Okay,
I have many, but he's a hero to me. If you ever have the time, I'll send you a reel or two. The guy's just the way he speaks, such conviction, and he genuinely wants to help people with the things that he does. The guy's amazing. You'd love him.
awesome, man. You've been training at Fusion XL for a while now. Can you talk to me a little bit more about the killers over there? You obviously Charles Johnson is one of the guys I talk
Yeah.
to on a regular basis. What's going on over there at Fusion XL?
So I've been at Fusion for the last 6 years, and my coach is, and this is what really sold it for me. My coach is one of the most humble people on earth because most people have never heard of him. I mean, MMA diehards know who he is. But something that sold me on Julian Williams, which is the head coach of Fusion Excel, is that he teaches us techniques and then he does them to us. I'm talking your favorite UFC fighter, your jiu-jitsu black belt, your D1 wrestler. He's to this day, he's 43, 44, and he's dogging people. He's a super athletic and he has a great MMA mind. And a lot of people move from all across the world, all across the country to train under him. And just recently, we've gotten Terrence McKinney, we've gotten Charles Johnson, Alderion, and they're all performing well. He has a great grappling heavy system, but he also has a really big mind for striking. And I moved here just randomly on a whim. and I just never left because of Fusion. I think there's something special going here, and I like to think that we're the fighting nerds, but we just haven't hit the mainstream media yet. I'm telling you, man, we've got the highest level guys coming into our gym. We've got high level guys on the team, cracking PFL and UFC, and we've got 10-1s, 9-1s. We've got people who are ready to get in the big spotlight, and I want to get there too. I mean, this loss is a minor setback, but if I get to 5-1, 6-1, I think I can. I think I have something that the UFC would want to buy.
Hmm. You had an amazing 2024, 3-0.
Not
I imagine I imagine that's something that you want like to get that momentum back like you had in 2024 for next year, right?
Yes, I thought that the dad strength would kick in while he was getting cooked, like while the baby was on the way. It didn't kick in yet, so I just have to get back to my normal grind. My fiance, my wife, is a professional fighter as well. She has 4 fights, so she wants to get back into competition. She's about to get her black belt in the next year or so. She's a brown belt, so I never thought I'd date a fighter. Here I am dating a fighter, so I want to see if we can chase this dream together. I've never had that partner before.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I guess obviously you haven't had that experience yet, but how do you think being a father will change how you fight going forward?
Well, I'm really hoping that I become as strong as Arman Sarukian. My weight class is 55, but I really hope that I pick up that dad strength. And I used to have the purpose of fighting to have the fame, the money, the status, the platform. I really just want to build a good platform to put out a good word. But now it's kind of shifted towards I want to let my kid know that he can do whatever he wants in life and go after it. So if I'm not setting the example of going after this athletic career, then how is he going to have full faith to chase his dreams? And I'm simultaneously I don't believe in balance, but ever since my last fight, I've shifted towards building my business. I have a marketing agency, and we focus on social media, and it has to be extreme in different segments of your life. It was very hard for me to do my business and for me to be a full-time athlete. So I guess that shift was needed in preparation for him, but yeah, but I guess that's my why, and I really hope that it translates well because I have a small window, man. I'm 31, about to be 32, but with Piera getting signed at 34, and a lot of these guys, like age, it's a young man's sport, but there's people who can kind of slip through the cracks. Well, it was really inspirational to me. One, I love DC, I always have, but he took his first fight at 31. Like he turned pro at 31. So I personally don't want to be fighting until 38, 39, 40. But I have a window, such a small window in my life for the next 4, 5, 6 years where I can really maximize myself as an athlete and see the opportunities I can create for myself.
Yeah, so that was actually going to be my next question. Like, who were some of your inspirations growing up? Do you see it? And I guess who were some of the first fighters that you saw on TV and you thought to yourself, like, man, I'd love to do this.
Absolutely. I got bullied as a kid, and then the first UFC I ever watched was Randy Couture versus Brock Lesnar, and I only knew because of Brock Lesnar. I only knew about the event because of that. And then I saw him win. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I remembered I was in high school and I watched UFC 94, the countdown, which was GSP versus uh, BJ Penn 2. And I was just hooked. I was attached to both sides. I'm like, both these guys are so good. Lightweight champ, welterweight champ. This is a super fight. These guys are fighting. And I just remember watching that and being hooked ever since. My dad followed, my brother followed. And growing up, there was a few fighters I was really looking up to. One of them was Diego Sanchez for some reason. Like prime Diego Sanchez, you just had to be there. Him versus Clay Guida was nuts. But also when I first started fighting, that's how I felt as if I fought, as I was face tanking and taking 2, 3 shots to land one. So Diego was an early inspiration. I drew inspiration from my favorite fighters, which would be Gegard Mousasi, Daniel Cormier, Michael Chandler. I always liked the good guy and the well-rounded guy. We
Hmm.
all fell in love with prime Conor McGregor. I think he just had to be there, but he had a run that I don't think anybody will ever have. So
For
there was
sure.
there was a lot of you might not. I mean, this is me personally. I don't like Conor as a person. I also don't know him as a person, but from what he presents, he's not my type of person. But him as an athlete, as a fighter, watching his embeddeds, watching his documentary, he's inspired a lot of fighters, if not majority of the fighters forever. He's that one Muhammad Ali transcending peace to our sport.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Love him or hate him, he's definitely transcended the sport. I gotta ask too, like,
Yeah.
how would you describe your fighting style, and how has it changed from like, day one, and I guess what goes into making your fighting style, and like adding all the layers and adding the skills and to your arsenal that you want as opposed to other fighters.
Absolutely. So, my personal opinion about combat sports, I think MMA is the hardest to master because you have so many different elements that you need to be well, not well-rounded, but you need to be proficient in or efficient in. So, for instance, boxing is just hands. Muay Thai, it's just kicks, knees, elbows, clinch, and you only have to worry about a certain set of things. But in MMA, you have to diversify your skill set. So, when I first started, I wrestled in high school. I wasn't a spectacular wrestler, but by any means, I was just kind of just the average, slightly above. And then I walked into a jiu-jitsu gym and I was just getting submitted left and right. I didn't know how to be on my back. I was trying to play top. I was getting swept and submitted. And I think that kind of shifted me towards just being a grappler, taking people down and taking people down and trying to submit them. But my first fight, the way I at least psychologically thought is if I'm fighting, I'm trying to hurt someone. I was just throwing hard and swinging hard. And as the years kind of progressed, I wanted to be a little bit more patient, work on my distance, my timing, have a little swag. That's what Julian does, like having a little swag when you're striking. But I guess my style now would be I'm a Muay Thai heavy guy. I love Muay Thai, bro. Like I'm telling you, Muay Thai should be so much bigger in America, and for some reason it blows my mind that it's not. But I love the culture of Muay Thai. Just my brother just came back from Thailand. It's a fighter's dream to go to Thailand, but dude, it's just you train in the morning, you eat, rest, and you train at night, and they're just cracking pads. That's their culture. They literally will train multiple times a day and fight on the weekends, and they'll preserve their body so they can make money and eat on the weekends. It's the culture of Thailand. So Muay Thai is my striking base. I box a little bit, and then I'm jiu-jitsu purple belt. Been doing jiu-jitsu for a little bit over a decade now. I have a good guard. I'm pretty good at it. Pretty good at jiu-jitsu as well. So, uh, but I do understand, and I think we all understand as fans that the longevity in the sport is grappling. It's taking people down, neutralizing their weapons, and you're winning on points. You're on top. You're winning the fight. You're dominating the position. So, as of right now, my last fight, I shot too many takedowns. I got every single one. But most fights, man, I'm just walking someone down and I'm trying to put my elbow in their eye, to be honest. Because look, when it comes to fighting, you have gloves, 4-ounce gloves. Your knees, your shins, and your elbows don't have anything on them, especially my bony elbow. Like just feeling it now, it's almost as if it was made to do stuff like that. And in my second pro fight, I'll send you the clip. That was the most I've ever thrown. That was the most elbows I've ever thrown. And they landed, it cut. I feel mean doing it, but yeah, Muay Thai fighter. I want to be able to show that there's Muay Thai in MMA. And thanks, yeah, if that answers your question, thanks for the spotlight.
Yeah, for sure, man. And there's nothing like fighting, and obviously you went since June without a fight. Have you tried to book fights since then, and how hard is it to book a fight on the regional scene right now, Mikey?
I'm pretty loyal to Combat Night, and like I said, dude, if you're ever in Florida, I'd get you set up, VIP, everything, creator pass, whatever you want. I'd love to have you at a Combat Night. I'm really good friends with the owner of Combat Night. Not only do they do very well on social media, shout out to them, by the way. Not only do they do very well on social media, they bring a lot of guys to the UFC. So I've had a lot of people come through their circuit. Trey Waters, Ramon Tavares, Stephen Kozlow, my teammate Lucas Alexander. They've sent a lot of people up. Um, it's very obvious if you're in Florida, you know that they dominate the MMA scene. There are other shows and opportunities out there. Like for instance, I got offered a fight in France, super random. I think it was right before my last fight. Timing wasn't there. I don't have any management, so in terms of negotiating and talking to other people, there aren't too many opportunities outside of Combat Night. But I generally love Combat Night. I know that when I fight, they take care of the athletes. They accept sponsorships, but they don't want money for the sponsors. They want product for the fighters. So when they get a sponsorship, they're collecting all this product to give to the fighters because it's fighters first. And to be honest, bro, when I went to Saudi, I think I'm just spoiled for fighting for Combat Night. If Combat Night was the biggest eyes and had all of the fans, I would not leave. I would not strive to get to a bigger promotion because I've felt how they genuinely care for the fighters. But since then, I think I had one fight offer immediately after my last fight. I didn't really take any damage, but I had to assess. One, I wanted to make sure I had money for when the kid got here, and I think I built my business a little bit in the meantime. But man, mentally something didn't click last fight, and that I've never actually. This is what Mitch, the owner of Combat, I told me. He said, "Bro, you literally gave that fight away. You're gonna be really upset when you watch it because I would get to these dominant positions, then he would reverse them, get on top, and I just wouldn't have the urgency to get up. So positionally, I lost the fight, and it's just sad. I haven't lost a fight in 7 years. Like an MMA fight, it's been 7 years since my last loss. So 6-3 as an amateur, and now I'm 3-1 as a pro, which is okay. I'm not gonna beat myself up. I'm not afraid to
Hmm.
lose.
When would you like to fight again?
I gotta get this weight off, man. I think I can get it off in the next month and a half. The earliest opportunity would be February 17th, but I want to find a 2, 3 month span where I can fight 2, 3 times. So I'm thinking March, May, and June.
Hmm. If I may ask, did you miss
Absolutely.
weight for the last time out? Because I saw on Tabology it was like a 158 point something, right?
I had just missed, yeah. That's
Uh,
something I got to
what
get down to.
what went into that weight cut? Was there anything different than previous training camps?
With the last, I mean, full accountability, I'll never make excuse for missing weight. That was on me. I chose not to cut the night before and cut the day of. And the scale that I had at the Crunch gym that I was weighing in at was 56 on the dot. I had a picture. And then we get to the weigh-ins and it was 58. So it's hard to predict sometimes because the state scale will be a certain weight. So moving forward, I just got to be under. I got to be under the weight, and then when I'm driving to weigh-ins or getting transported to weigh-ins, you can't drive in that state. Just make sure that I'm floating off the excess. So it's just a miscalculation on my part, full accountability, and I paid my opponent, so I don't think he's upset. And he won, so I got half my paycheck for the first time ever, and that sucks.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. And one of my newest segments on my show is like I ask fighters what they're reading or watching. Like, I guess in terms of TV shows, what have you been
Mm,
watching recently, if at all, Mikey?
absolutely. So, like I told you with the newborn, my days are wake up, feed baby mama so she could feed the baby, and then we watch and I work remote, so I do a lot of social media stuff. So I just work at home, but I watched Breaking Bad. It's my favorite TV series of all time. It's so good.
Awesome,
And then we watched the Harry Potter series. It was her first time. I personally love the Harry Potter series. And then to connect Breaking Bad and to the prequel, we watched Better Call Saul. So today we started Fallout 70, or not 76, but we started the Fallout series.
awesome, dude. Yeah, I just watched the third or the latest episode earlier today. Then I actually finished the Breaking Bad finale for like the second time last night. So that's
Wait, so
awesome,
we're
man.
watching the same things? That's cool.
Yeah, I'm
My
about to finish Better Call Saul as well. It's a great show. I'm not sure if you've seen it all the way through, but you'll love it, I believe.
bro, what do you think about Lalo?
Lalo's
Nutcase.
crazy, man. He's a
Nutcase,
wild card.
bro. And then this watch through with my fiance, I realized how bad Walt was. I thought everything he was doing is for his family, which it is, but he really started to become sinister at some point.
Yeah, all for himself, or I guess he was kind of using it as an excuse for his family, but later as you go on, you kind of realize like, oh no, he's just doing it for himself. He's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it makes you feel really bad about Jesse. But that's cool, man. I'm glad we got those shows in common. We have a lot to bond over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I think that's all the questions I had for you today, Mikey. I just want to thank you again for the time, man.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you want to say to the fans out there watching before I let you go?
Absolutely. Shout out MMA Island. It was a few days ago. I introduced my girl to the song, and I'm just dancing to it. That's so cool. You have a song dedicated to you, by the way. That is one of the biggest, amazing, most amazing flexes. I think it's amazing. And shout out to you for having me on. Fusion XCel, best team in the world. We're gonna prove it in the next year or so. I know that a lot of the guys are getting lined up. We have a lot of guys that are gonna get signed, and I'd love to knock on the door of the big opportunity too.